everybody, to another episode of 8192 The Truth. This is Joel D. Supernaw with my partner, Brother Sin, Kevin Sinier. Brother.
I am good. It's my birthday. It's a good day. Today?
It's your actual birthday.
It's my actual birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Brother Sin.
Thank you.
How old are you?
Too old. 37.
Are you really? That's young.
Yeah,
that's young. What's in the goblet?
It's a little Cabernet, an Apothic Red.
I love it. He's got it. He's got his wine. That's just what I would. If I drink wine, I would drink it out of a goblet like that. He doesn't have the pimp goblet, but like he has the big Kool-Aid cup.
That's right.
The cup you would drink Kool-Aid out of. Okay. Well, listen. So yesterday we had Scott Davenport come on and do the whole show with me. Guys, listen. Scott Davenport is really, really, really funny, but man, he was off yesterday. I don't know what it was. And Scotty, I'm not ripping on you, bud, but if you listen to that show, you were off, man. You were off. I teed you up on the most epic trip of your life, and it was short on as good as Davenport is, and then he threatened to kill you. So so it was fun having Scotty on. We'll have to, he's a lot better than that. Trust me. I want to talk a little bit about just a little health thing, and then we'll get into this show. So yesterday, I had a long day like everybody who has a job. I had a long day, and man, I'm a little hungry. I'm eating real clean. I'm not eating a ton, but I'm eating clean. So I'm tired. I'm hungry, and maybe I'm just depleted on energy. So I don't want to get a workout in, but I gotta go. I gotta just get to the gym. So I get to the gym, and sure enough, within 4 minutes, I think it was 4 minutes. Within 4 minutes on the bike, I was feeling fine, and I went through and I had a great workout. And I started thinking about like Joe Rogan said, don't listen to the bitch in you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can call you can call yourself like the B word and say I was being a B. You can call yourself a puss. I was being a puss. And I said, what if you called it something for me? What if you called it something that you really, really don't want to be? You really, really don't want to. When was the last time you ever heard anybody say, hey, why didn't you go work out? Well, because I was being a coward.
Ooh, that hurts. That one hurts.
Yeah, exactly. So I came up with a training track, and that was trust the coward. Trust the coward. The coward is not going to want to go work out. For sure, 100%. He is not going to want to go work out. He is not going to want to. Trust the coward and beat the coward. And it worked for me last night. It was a really powerful training track because I thought about it, and I was like, hundreds of times I told myself, I'm being lazy, I'm being a bee, I'm being a puss. Never, not one single time did I throw the gauntlet down and say, no, I was just being a coward. I was hiding from something, and that's what a coward does. Coward hides from something. So I wanted to throw that out there as you guys use that, unless you like being a coward. I know a lot of cowards, a ton of them actually. So maybe that's not a bad word. I don't know. What do you think, Sin?
I think that's more powerful than the B word or the puss, because that's more. Those are slang terms. They're more pejorative. But coward is like a personal, clean, legit word. It's not some thuggish slang. Coward is nobody wants to be a coward. Somebody can call you one of those other things, and it's just it's talk. But coward, oh, yeah.
So trust the coward. He will never. He will always lead you astray. He will never. You'll never be like. I mean, when have you ever skipped a workout and then been like, you know what, man, I am so glad I missed that workout. Because here I am now, not feeling guilty. Or doing something negative like drinking or eating a bunch. Yeah, the coward's never right, but you got to trust him. Okay, so Sin, I got a Dan Gable story, but we're short on time tonight, so maybe we'll shelf that. Let's get over to Rockholt. What was that? Either the Countdown show or one of the embeddeds. I think it was the Countdown show. Did you see that? Where it appears that Luke Rockholt is training with DC's opponent, Mr. Osterry.
Yeah, he left AKA and I think
Volken can't.
Volken,
What's this guy's name?
Volken Ozdemir.
Volken Ozdemir. I like DC says Volken.
Yeah.
So that was, oh man, I tell you, I understand. Luke said he was training there before Volken came out there.
Yeah.
But man, those guys, DC and Rock are like brothers. If it was me, I wouldn't. I would be like, hey, keep him. I don't know if I'd care actually. But
yeah, or I mean, are they that close that that Luke's now running? He's now running an op, a black op over there.
Not really. Daniel's supremely confident in his abilities to beat this guy. And quite frankly, that Olympic caliber of wrestling, freestyle Olympic wrestler, who's maintained, it's in that body too. I think he's gonna ragdoll that kid.
Oh, I do too. I mean, Volken, he can't hit any harder than Rumble, and DC had very little trouble with Rumble, so I don't see this, being much of a problem for him at all.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
I mean, he took the best shot that Rumble had, took a tumble, got back up, climbed on his back, and choked him out. So.
Now, we were going back and forth through text today, and you're fired up on online experts. Is that people that is that internet experts or online experts on the sport? Go ahead.
It's more. I get so. I mean, it's my business. I'm all for people getting healthy, people going to the gym, losing weight, all that stuff. I just get so sick of seeing people who have been your average Joe slouch for 35 years, and all of a sudden they decide they're going to start going to the gym. And they go for a month and a half, they lose 15 pounds, and all of a sudden they're telling all these other people, this is what you have to do, this is how you do it, this is, they're insulting other people's training, other people's nutrition. All of a sudden they become an expert in 6 weeks, and they're taking videos and telling people what they should and shouldn't do, and they're experts. The internet provides a huge open forum for people to act like they're,
Oh, so you're fired up about the gym expert? You're fired.
Yeah, and that's just one example. Yeah.
Sin, one of the things,
and it doesn't bother me. I try and shut it out, but it's just like, seriously.
You know what you got to do, Sin, is you got to, because I'm sure you where do you work? You work out at Planet Fitness or something?
No.
But where do you work out at?
Either in my home gym or the YMCA.
Okay, the Y. Well, okay. So that would. I'm going to stay off that topic. I like to belong to the nicest facility I can absolutely go to. And then there's a different headache there, which is the snob headache. But the snob headache, you get over the snob headache.
Yeah.
I thought you were fired up about. Okay, speaking of which, how's your team doing? How's your training group doing? Do you got any left? How are they holding up?
Yeah, so good so far. So this is week 2 of the actual, nutrition plan. The first week was just cutting out all the crap. So they're doing well. I've talked to a few of them, still fighting some of the sugar cravings and stuff, but it definitely tapers off as we get farther into it. And they're doing well. Everybody that I spoke to is still committed. They're still following through. They haven't given up, and they're seeing progress. So every single one of them has lost weight. So
all right, good.
Yeah,
great news. Hey, so how is your meat diet going?
Oh, I'm going to be straight honest. I gave up on that. And I wouldn't call it so much giving up. It's just not for me. My body, not that it didn't respond. So I lost weight the first several days. I lost probably 8.5 pounds in the first week and a half. But I didn't feel really good doing it. And granted, if I'd have given it a whole month or longer, I may have adapted. But I just didn't feel good. I was getting very angry, not angry, but agitated in the evenings, very hungry, very cranky. And I didn't feel great putting in, sitting down and putting in 2.5 pounds of ground beef or the steak. And it hurt my mouth. It hurt my teeth with the steak and stuff. So, yeah, I definitely see there may be some validity, but it wasn't for me. I didn't feel good. And that's half the purpose is not only lose weight and look better, but feel better. And
yeah, I looked at that, prior to you doing it, and I was just like, I knew going into it. For me, I knew going into it, I'm not eating meat 3 times a day or as much meat as I want. Or how am I going to want to work out? How am I going to? I mean, for me, and I'm doing really good right now in terms of I'm eating, and generally, when I'm working out all the time, this has been my history. Again, I've talked about it. Is I'm not eating. I'm not eating enough, and of course you lose weight. I mean, you lose weight if you work out twice a day. But I'm feeling, I said, I've talked about balance, and for me, I've never really cared that much about eating well, unless I was on the vision quest.
Sure.
So. But I did know for a fact that I wasn't going to want to eat meat every day. So we're off the carnivore. The team is doing great.
Yep.
Now, John Danaher, how do you say that guy's name? Danaher?
John Danaher, yeah.
Okay, so he was on Rogan's show, and what was he talking about? GSP?
Yeah, I mean he was he's one of GSP's main coaches, and a really good show on Rogan's MMA show. But he had pointed out some things about GSP. He had kind of alluded partly to the fact that there's a good chance GSP will never fight again. So he kind of backtracked on that a little bit, but that wasn't the main thing. He had just pointed out that what George is suffering from now, the colitis that he came out and made public, that he needs some time off. It made more impressive the win over Bisping in that fight, that he was suffering severely through that camp. Danaher had said that was the worst fight camp of any fighter he's worked with that he's ever seen, both in quality and overall kind of capacity. That George had several serious bouts of the ulcerous colitis, wasn't able to train, was getting his ass kicked repeatedly for weeks, couldn't eat, and was just in really bad shape up even into fight week a couple days before, where he had some very long bathroom bouts where he just doubled over in pain, and that he was still able to come out after that 4-year layoff, put the beating on Bisping, and win like that. I just thought it really goes to strengthen that argument about GSP being up there as one of the greatest ever, that he had such a horrible camp after that many years off, going up a weight class and still getting that victory. It was pretty insightful.
Well, that's a shame. That's sad to hear that he is struggling with that. GSP. If that's it, what sucks about that is, how fast they took the title away, like he had done something, and then nobody's even so his coach went on and said, no, this guy's really sick. He's really struggling with this,
Yeah.
which means he's probably going to have to get surgery.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, and usually what they'll do, they'll go in and they'll remove a piece of the colon, and they'll try and do some things that way, because it's apparently it's a pretty painful and pretty serious thing.
Okay, so on your birthday, looking to last year, and your thoughts on last year, and birthday boy, what are your thoughts on your last 12 months, and then what are you looking forward to for your next 12 months? I didn't realize you were as young as you are. You'll be shithouse mad when you turn 40. This is good. This is good.
Close enough.
I can walk you through that.
So, so for the last year, we'll take myself personally out of the situation. One of the big things that when I sit back and think of what happened in the world last year and where we're at, it saddens me a bit, especially somebody with young children. As many advances we're making technologically and medically, and we're advancing as a society that way by such leaps and bounds. Culturally and humanity-wise, we seem to be taking steps back. And I thought once the election was over, whether it was Trump or Hillary got into office, once that decision was made, the people had spoken, they got in there, that things would calm down. But I see us now as a society, at least in America, over the last year, where it seems like very few people are truly interested in the betterment of everybody. It just becomes so petty and so angered on both sides that no matter what the president may be doing, on a positive note with the tax break, which definitely helps somebody like me, I'll get a significant amount of money back, repealing some of the ACH stuff, and it just seems that we're in such a petty, volatile state between parties and between sides as a nation, as a society, that we're taking steps back, and that's painful to see, that we're not progressing as a people, and that we've still got a long way to go as far as harmonizing as a group of people. So I've noticed over the last year that's sad that we're not making ground with that. So that on a deeper note, that's what I've picked over the last year. Personally, I have a son. My life has been good. I thought it was great with girls, but now having a son, somebody that I see more of myself in, the last year was really exciting with that. Having a little version of mini me, being able to start to.
Hey, what's that kid's name?
George, my son George.
No, what's that young boy's name?
You mean Chael J? Yeah.
All right, so you named your son Chael. What is the verdict? What is the verdict on whether you are going to the show or not this weekend?
That's still up for discussion. I got another day to make that decision. So we shall see. I still got the tickets.
At 37, you're going to get on that plane. You're going to get on that plane, baby, and you're going to shut that phone off. You're going to have a fight with Miss Sin, and she's going to say, let me just walk you through this, since I've been down it so many times. Just go ahead and go. No, I want you to go. Okay, and then when that happens, then you just need to go and stop. Don't, because what you're going to do is you're going to say, I work so hard for this family, and I do this and I do that, and I'm on stress and blah blah blah. Just once you get the go ahead and go, just go ahead and go. That's your out. So just wait for it. Just because she'll throw it. You can even wait for you to be like, what is it, honey? You don't want me to go? And she's going to be like, no, just go. And then just stop with it. Be like, oh, okay, thanks. And no more talk. No more talk.
Just tee her up and, hey, maybe.
Just tee her up. Just be like, yeah, you're right. I'm going.
But yeah, that was a big thing for me last year. I mean, having been a fan of Chael, meeting him for the first time, and then meeting him again, talking to him more, in Kankakee, and meeting you, all that kind of stuff. It's been a year of really cool new relationships in my life. So that was my biggest highlight of last year, other than my son, was meeting you guys, building that kind of relationship, and what we're doing here. So it's been a really cool year of new new adventures and new, like I said, new friendships and stuff like that. So that's the biggest thing I took from last year.
So I forgot all about this. I didn't tell you. So, you know how you get junk email. I get slammed with junk email all the time.
Yeah.
I get one from an insurance because, of course, I was looking for insurance or something, and the headline. Oh my God, it's so bad. The headline says, "Joel, what if you die tomorrow?" Isn't that taking sales just a little bit too far? Isn't that taking it? I mean, come on. That has to be bottom of the basement. Do you guys teach that? Is there something in the manual that you want to make sure people, you know, if I die tomorrow,
yeah,
I need to go. They do teach you that.
That's one of the main tenets of, you know, life insurance. That's the conversation, because people don't think about it. They don't prepare for it. They don't find it as a necessity until you sit them down and you point blank ask them that question, preferably with their wife or spouse or whoever sitting in the chair next to them. You say, you know, look over at this person. This is who you're sharing your life with, who you've claimed responsibility for. What happens if you die tomorrow? What happens to them? So yeah, that is probably rule number one, lesson number one in selling life insurance. That's the question you ask. Are you prepared financially if you die tomorrow? Yes. So that's common.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's not some sleazy sales trick. That is like the lesson number one, regardless of who you sell for or what you sell. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just looked down on my phone today, and it says, "Joel, what if you die tomorrow?" And I was just like, "Are you serious?" Like,
no.
Like that's wow. Yeah. I'm not for that. I mean, I'm just. That's like, you got to flush that. You got to flush that in a hurry. That's a big one. So you don't know if you're going tomorrow. When would you leave, actually?
If at this point, if I go, it'll probably be leaving Friday night and then taking the red eye back into Sunday morning.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that'll be hell.
Because there's some flights that go out mid-evening on Friday, and then there's some that leave at like 11 o'clock LA time.
Okay, hey, so I got some good news. Do you remember our very, very first show?
Yeah.
I talked to my buddy Reese, who, you know, he kind of got okey-doked and he didn't get the job and he was looking forward to it and he got strung along.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the very last thing I said was, Reese will be okay. He'll get a good job. Well, he actually has just been battling, and he just landed a premier position, best job of his life. And I can tell you, and this, you know, this podcast is called The Truth, and you will relate to it, and our listeners will relate to it, is generally when you're struggling, and somebody around you gives you some good news, oh man, congratulations, da.
Yeah.
But you feel something in your stomach that is like, you know, I don't know what that emotion is. It might be guilt that your friend's doing something better than you are,
Yep.
or jealousy, or whatever it is. Dude, when Reese told me he got that job, I can't remember being any happier, because it was one of these things where the guy went out, he took a completely different direction in his life. It did, the things he thought were going to happen didn't happen. He humbled himself immensely. I'm not going to get into it, but immensely. And he just landed. I've been on cloud nine for the last 2 days since he told me, and it just goes to show you, that, you know, the dream killers, you literally have to kill every dream killer in your life for you to succeed. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen without self-belief.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't, if you think you go in and have a great interview You think you're not going to get that job. Guess what? You're not going to get that job. If you think good things don't happen to you, if you're one of those people that say, oh man, I got the worst luck in the world, da 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 da. I mean, you got to change that. That's a dream killer inside of you. Competition. I had a competition that actually started last night when I didn't listen to the coward, when I went to the gym and started working out. I use that MyZone heart rate app.
Yep.
And so what MyZone does is it I call them MIPS. I don't even know what the hell it is. It's movement points or some shit. But anyway, they keep track of it. And back home in my gym, there's I got a circle of people that we're all connected to. And I hadn't, I've been having a really, really good weekend, or the good year, actually, off to a great start. And, I've just got a bunch of points and I'm way ahead, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I didn't wear my strap for a couple of days and I missed a couple workouts. And I look over last night and I'm like 85 points or MIPS, points, whatever the hell it is, behind a buddy of mine back out in Portland. So I went to sleep last night. When I noticed it, I was like, God damn it. So I got up this morning and I only had an hour. So I just pushed super, super hard. And I actually pushed quite a bit harder than I was telling myself I wanted to from where I'm at in this training cycle. I kind of want to, for once, kind of spend the time of enjoying the complete cycle instead of going to the hardest possible thing I could do every single workout to where there's peaks. Because if you just beat yourself up, you're not gonna improve. You're gonna improve a certain degree, but your body has to rest. But anyway, I went this morning and I was competing and I just kept going harder and harder and harder. and then I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do that Aerodyne. I'm going to do a minute on, and I know you've done a minute on, minute off on the Aerodyne before.
Killer.
It's literally the hardest workout you can do. Like, I was thinking about it today. I was like, professional athletes will hire a strength and conditioning coach and flip tires and punch things and do everything in the world when all they have to do is go to that Aerodyne. That's it. That's all they have to do. The Aerodyne's sitting there and nobody's using it. And it's incredible because it never changes. Doesn't matter where you are in your fitness level, going as hard as you possibly can on the Aerodyne for 1 minute is going to get your heart rate up over 90%. But the hard part is taking that minute off and then doing it again without a partner, which is what I did today. So I got mentally keyed in last night when I came up with trust the coward, and it carried over today, and I look forward to that because in a changing within change. Boy, when you find something, grab onto it, and if you find a group of foods that you like to eat, and you say, God, man, I feel really good when I eat X. Eat X.
Yeah.
If you start swimming, and you're like, you know what, swimming's really working for me. Hey, guess what? Swim more. There's most of us, and when I say us, I do mean us. Somebody like myself who has struggled with all sorts of things, but with my weight for a better part than half my life. The only thing we listen to is the negative things. The only thing we listen to, we have the ability. We have such ability for incredible discipline, but the only things we ever hear are the negative things, and we will use that as motivation, as opposed to just getting rid of it. That there's nothing there. Let's go do something positive. I like to smile at everybody and nod at everybody and just be, because I look like Shrek. I look like there's a really, really good chance that I'm going. That shit's gonna jump off. I got a stone face. My ears are knotted up. So what I like to do when I'm living right is I like to come out of my comfort zone and be overly gracious and nice to people, especially at the gym, and they're just not having it. The patrons. The patrons at the Jewish Community Center in Overland Park are just not having it. But they will. They will, because now they're starting to see what insanity looks like. Now they're starting to see, as hard as everybody thinks they're working out, now they're seeing a cat taking it to a completely different level.
Absolutely.
So
I love it.
Tomorrow, if you can come on, I'll tell the Dan Gable story.
Yes.
I got to finish up with my lot attendant story. So it's got to be, it's freezing where you're at too.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like 3 degrees. It's awful.
Yeah. It's so cold. So it's just been me. I lost my porter, my lot boy, 4 or 5 months ago, and so it's just been me in the office gal, and we just make it work out. Well, so the owner finally got a porter. He got a lot gal, and so last week it was really, really, really cold, and he's never there, so it's just me and her and the office gal. And I feel bad. So there was a good day last week, so we arranged a lot. A lot looked great. We didn't really have much to do, so I just had her do ads, and I didn't know she didn't want to go outside. So yesterday, now I'm out. Now I'm on day 4 of her not working, and I'm like, okay, listen. If you don't want to work, that's cool. But you're just gonna have to go home. If it's too cold for you outside, then you just have to go home. She didn't need to stay out there all day, but take a car, get a battery. I mean, there's some things that she, in her job, that she applied for and she got. Well, so today, she leaves yesterday. She doesn't work. Today she comes in. I'm like, do you have a plan? And she says, yeah, I am not going outside. And so I'm like, all right, well, so same thing kind of applies today as it did yesterday. If you don't want to go outside, then just go home. And that's the millennials, man.
Absolutely.
That's the millennials. I have no earthly idea how the good ones have to be so good, because that's just that. I talked to everybody about that today. All sorts of people. They were like, what? I was like, yeah, the person that applied for a job outside told me she wasn't going to go outside. And this isn't a sexist thing. This isn't a woman. This isn't a woman thing. That's a lazy person.
Yep.
who is entitled.
Entitlement. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, she said, I'm not. The first thing she said is, I'm not going outside. I was just like, oh my God, if. Oh God, that's so. It was funny. It was funny. There is something in this world called age, and there's a lot of things with the Godfather that is aging, because I would have lit. Her being a woman, that is a little bit different for me, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going outside. So I know birthday boy needs to get, so we're going to cut this a little bit short tonight, but either I'll be back tomorrow, or me and Brother Sin will both be back tomorrow. We've got a whole bunch to talk about. We got Bellator coming up this weekend, whether you're going or not. We have some, the genius in Chael Sonnen in Godin, in getting his name in there with Chuck Liddell is just, God, it's just so brilliant. It just, it is. It used to irritate me so much, because I was so, as his bro, I was so focused on,
man, let's just go whip this cat's ass in front of us. But there is some there's some method to his madness.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that. Tell the Dan Gable story, and eventually I will tell the story about Joe Dirte.
Yeah, we have got to hear that story. It's been sitting there brewing for quite a while now.
And listeners, as you may or may not know, the Godfather went out, upgraded his equipment so you can actually hear me. Deuces, everybody.
Nice. All right, folks, you heard it there. We're coming back again tomorrow. We're filling your ears this week with a lot of great quality content.